Happy
Hello.
Tuesday.
God, it feels like Thursday to me. It's like Tuesday. That's because it's in the afternoon.
At least it's not Monday.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, thanks for joining us at our new afternoon time slot. As we transition into the fall, we figured we would transition our time as well, just to open it up to different people. Some groups are available in the morning and can watch us at 10. Some groups are available in the afternoon and can watch us at 2. So we want to make sure that we're accessible to everybody. So,
Always trying new things, see what's happening, see what's working.
Don't want things to get stale.
Yeah.
I'm excited about today's topic.
I am too. I think it's a really good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah.
So if you didn't see our advertisement in the weekly update or on Facebook, we are going to talk about how to demonstrate your value as a real estate agent. And not the whole, I'm a realtor, I abide by the code of ethics, not that kind of stuff.
No.
How do you take the things that we're teaching you and the tools that you have access to and articulating them in different scenarios? So we're going to actually give you a couple of different scenarios and show you how they unfold. I know oftentimes you guys are wanting role plays or wanting, to hear what do we say and what do we do with our clients. So we're actually going to bring that to you today.
Very good one. So you kind of led it with value.
Yes.
And you mentioned, yes, not about the code of ethics, and we're realtors, and there's a lot of things that we do to make either buyers happy or sellers happy that it's kind of like everyone does it.
Like marketing, advertising, that kind of a thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, we expect that you guys take good photos. We expect that you do nice flyers, and your listing presentation should definitely embody that, you're a professional and you do these really nice things for people, but these things are pretty commonplace.
Yeah.
Most people
like the
can
standard things that most real estate agents do.
Yeah. Most people can go hire a good photographer and hire someone to take nice, pictures and flyers and that kind of stuff. We want to talk about you.
Setting yourself apart.
Your very self. And the first thing when you're setting yourself apart is who you're working with, I think. So, yes, Brian Buffini, guys, working by referral. If you're not working by referral, then it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Because you need to build trust and loyalty and friendship and all these things with someone off the internet who doesn't know you, doesn't care about you, and just looking for a deal.
Yeah.
That's not
a little tougher.
We're talking about working with people that know you and respect you.
Or know someone that you know.
Or know
and
someone.
And they trust them and their recommendation.
Which doesn't mean that they're not looking for a good deal.
Yeah.
It's just not the uphill battle of having to start from scratch. So, the scenario. Do you want to just jump in with your scenario
here?
here?
So let's do this. A couple of weeks ago, we had mentioned that we were going to bring you guys an email that I had written to a client and just kind of show you how I communicate with my clients. The setting for this, just to kind of set the stage, is this is a referral from a good friend and a past client who has bought and sold a couple of houses with us. It's one of her closest friends. So she reached out to me and said, hey, my closest friend is looking to buy and sell. I trust her with no one other than you, which was a great compliment. And I said, of course, I would love to help her. So it's her and her husband and her daughter, and they are looking to sell and they're looking to buy. And I met with them back in February, and then...
You've had a couple meetings with them.
Yes. I've had multiple meetings with them. And so, walking their home, talking about home enhancement, talking about the home buying process. We did the whole buyer consultation, whole seller consultation. So yeah, it's been a multi-step process. And then COVID hit and they decided to hit the pause button. And recently we were in touch in September, and I check in with them every 3 to 4 weeks. How are things going? This is what's going on in the market. How's your family? It's not specific to real estate. Hey, do you want to buy now? It's just, how are you guys? So in September, the most recent conversation, she reached out to me with an email and said, hey, we're ready to get the ball rolling. So we're going to read that email to you guys so you can see what questions she asked in that email, and then we're going to show you my response to her. So.
And I'm going to throw this out there real quick and have you go back just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Again, working by referral. a good friend of ours, past client, referred this person,
Yeah.
and this client is so good. We got to give her kudos for
How she did the referral.
She set up a luncheon.
Yeah, she set up a luncheon and created the introduction. So she had me get together with her and her friend. So it was the three of us, and created the introduction so that her friend felt comfortable meeting me for the first time. But yet the person that referred the person I know, she backed out of the conversation so that we could have a one-on-one meeting. But yeah, she facilitated the entire luncheon, which was fantastic.
Because she already knew some other agents as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not like it was a done deal. You had to earn
I had to earn, yeah.
the business. But because it was referral and the way that we've helped educate, teach
our people
to help us, win these referrals, because they want to help us because they had such a good experience. They want their friends to have a good experience too. So again,
yeah, it was really nice that she didn't just pass along my card and my name and say, hey, give Stacy a call, she's great. She's like, no, you can't use anyone but Stacy. And I know you're interviewing your previous realtor and your husband has a realtor, but come over, we're doing lunch, you're going to talk to her. And yeah, she couldn't say no.
Yeah,
so it worked out
awesome.
great.
But you had to earn her respect.
Yes. Yeah, I worked hard for that.
Yeah.
I certainly did. And it was, like I said, a multi-step process of building that trust and showing my value and that I was worthy of being their realtor. So, and yeah, not only did I have to win over the friend at the luncheon, but then I met with her husband and then I had to win him over too. So yeah. It was good.
But I think when we show you this letter, you'll get to see the value that we bring and that you can bring by being a local expert. Okay? You're not just someone off the internet, some Zillow, some algorithm. You're a person who has local market knowledge, and you need to be able to demonstrate that. You need to be able to show that to someone. So this is real life. This is how we were able to show our professionalism and our knowledge, which only reinforced this person's decision to work with us.
So, and when he opens this, the letter that I composed, the email that I composed to help them with their decision was the statistics that I presented to you guys at the September sales meeting. So this email to my buyer, Suzanne, went out the day after the sales meeting. And so I took all of those statistics that I gave you guys, and now you can see how you can take the things that you know and compose them in an email so that the general public can understand what's going on. So here we go.
Do you want to read your letter?
I'll let you read it.
Okay, I'll read the letter. So, hi Stacy. We're finally ready to start planning for the sale of our house and purchase of another. We have changed our minds about wanting to move out before listing our house. As generous as Rachel and Matt's offer is to take us in, that was nice, we don't want to jeopardize the relationships by being indefinite house guests, and we'd rather move just once if possible. We would like to explore the possibility of making contingent offers and or the possibility of renting our current home for a couple of months after closing to buy some time to find a house. We'd love to hear your thoughts and welcome any advice you can offer. I'm also curious to hear what you think is best as far as the timing of things. On one hand, we're anxious to get things rolling, but on another, we're nervous about how few listings are on the market right now, and that we might feel rushed into buying a home that isn't exactly what we're looking for. We have family coming into town over Thanksgiving, so don't think the idea of being in the thick of buying is selling during the holidays. So really, we're not in a huge rush. We want to do what makes the most sense for us long term. So right there's a lot of things going on in their life.
They have a lot of things going on, and there's several questions. They're wanting advice on a couple of different things. Quite a few things that I need to factor in as I'm composing my response back to them.
Yeah, and what I like about this letter is, again, people need help.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't just go online and buy a house without looking at your life and everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. People need trusted advisors. People need someone to help guide them, lead them, help them make decisions. And this is why our job, even 30 years ago when I had the real estate manual, the book.
We still have the book, by the way.
The book with all the information. That's not what the value was. The value wasn't knowing that there was a house for sale. The value is advising, consulting, listening, and helping. So here's the response. And again, this response is something you can put together with all the information we give you guys on stats, on how to deal with people. Still not screen
Whether
sharing.
you have 3 months of experience as a real estate agent, 5 years of experience, or 20 years of experience, there is nothing that has gone into this email that all of you do not have access to. So this is something that anybody of any experience level can put together.
Yeah, it just takes time.
It just takes time. And
You spent a lot of time one evening to put this together.
It probably took me an hour and a half to really put all of these thoughts down, proofread it, make sure that I hit all of her questions, that I was articulating things correctly. So yeah, it wasn't just a slam out email in 15 minutes. No, this is, I really want to do my best for these guys. So
your response. You should read the response since this is you.
I spent time typing it. I like hearing you read it. Yeah, this is great.
Okay. So, hi Suzanne. I'm excited to hear that you and Justin are ready to start planning for the sale of your home and purchase of another. I completely understand your reasons for not wanting to take Matt and Rachel up on the generous offer of allowing you to stay with them until your home sells. I agree that a double move never is ideal, and there is no need to put unnecessary stress on your relationship with them. I'm good to rule that out and look at all your other options. So let's start by diving in with a quick market update. So this is what you guys can really work on. Despite the pandemic, the real estate market is still trending up very nicely. In fact, August 2020 broke numerous records. August saw the highest average sales price of any month ever for the Denver metro area. The average sales price of a detached single-family home is now $606. Just to help put that in perspective, in July the average sales price was $597,000. In June it was $558,000, and in May it was $542,000. We continue to struggle with inventory, so the lack of supply is pushing home values through the roof. Typically in July and August we start to see the demand taper off. 2020 is certainly not following our regular seasonality shift. Instead, because of the spring pandemic lockdown, we had a lot of pent-up demand that caused the summer months to be extremely busy. My prediction is that we will continue to carry this momentum well into the holidays, and then after the first of the year, we will see things level off before they ramp back up in February for the spring selling season. 2020 truly is shaping up to be unlike any other year for many reasons. I mean, that's great
Smiley
information.
face.
Yes, smiley face, lots of, but great information. And again, information that we have given you, and you guys know that there's seasonality. You know what happens in the summer. It typically slows down, but not this year. I mean, so, this is your value of knowing what's happening and articulating this to people because they're not following what's going on. The other record that August set was the lowest number of homes on the market. Typically in August, the number of listings start to go up. Instead, August 2020 saw a 41% drop in listings compared to July. Typically in August, we roll into September with approximately 16,500 listings. This year, we left August with just 5,500 listings. With that being said, most homes have multiple offers, are going under contract in an average of 6 days, and are selling for a little over asking price. As a seller, this is great news. As a buyer, it makes things a touch more challenging. Right now, contingent offers are getting shuffled to the bottom of the offer stack and are less likely to be considered. It isn't that sellers aren't willing to take contingent offer. It's just that when they have 2 or 3 other offers that are of similar price and terms that aren't contingent, 9 times out of 10, the seller will select a non-contingent buyer. To make your offer shine as a contingent buyer, you usually have to offer higher than anyone else and at a minimum be under contract with a new buyer on your existing home and through the home inspection milestone.
So yeah, that paragraph is more education purposes to let them know
Because they were talking about maybe being contingent.
And what are the expectations in the marketplace? Because last thing I want to do is throw them into the fire and say, yeah, let's do it. And they find houses that they love and their offers just get denied. I want them to know that, hey, contingencies are a little tricky and we just need to approach them correctly.
And again, this is part of your value. Okay, your value is to educate people and for you to be in control of kind of what's going on because of your expertise, and not just let the buyer lead you when it's not in their best interest.
Exactly.
So educating them on your personal knowledge, and even if you haven't sold a house, if you're new, you're hearing these stories from all of us, or on the Tuesday Talks, people are sharing, so you can say, I heard in my office this is going on. So you don't have to have done it yourself.
Exactly.
To be able to use this as an experience.
Yep.
So continuing, and again, we'll share this letter because there's a lot to it. I definitely think the best strategy for you guys will be to get your home on the market and under contract with a buyer that will allow a 30 to 60 day post-closing occupancy agreement, so that you have plenty of time to find a replacement home without making a double move. Because inventory is so low, many buyers are willing to provide these long post-closing occupancy agreements if it helps their offer shine and rise above the competition. Once under contract with a new buyer, we would hit the replacement housing hunt really hard. As a plan B, if we submit several offers on properties and struggle to get one accepted due to the home sale contingency, we could wait until the sale of your home closes, and then you'd be offering as a non-contingent buyer. If the sale of your home closes, and then you would be if you have a 60-day post-closing occupancy agreement in place, that would give us 30 days to find a home and get an offer accepted, 30 days to accomplish all the purchase milestones. A very reasonable and realistic timeline, and probably more time than we would even need. Again, we would just need to be aggressive with our search, jump quickly when you see something you like, and come in strong with a good price and terms, which I will provide plenty of advice and guidance on. As far as timing, I think between now and October 30th is a good time to list. After that, it gets a little bit tricky because of elections coming up. There's always a period of uncertainty that surrounds elections, and it tends to cause the market to follow unusual patterns for a few weeks. Nothing to be worried about, but merely something to be aware of. Also in November, our seasonality shifts start to kick in. Less homes will be coming on the market due to the holidays, so although I would still sell your home quickly, if we listed in November, you won't have much to choose from on the replacement side of things, and would run the risk of feeling pressure to buy a home that isn't a perfect fit because you're limited on time. I know this is one of your greatest concerns, so I weighted it heavily when I put together these recommendations. Past October 30th, I would probably say the next best time to list would be around the third week of February. It's just before the rush of the spring selling season in March. We would capitalize on limited competition that the month of February offers home sellers, but benefit as a buyer from the rush of listings that hit the market mid-March. My gut tells me that our fall 2020 and spring 2021 selling seasons will remain strong. There are just too many local indicators that show the real estate market tracking on the current trajectory well into the second quarter of 2021. We have a lot of catching up to do before we'll start to shift to a normal market, where our demand doesn't severely outweigh our supply. When we start to see interest rates tick back up, some of the prospective buyers out there will put their housing hunt on hold because they will be priced out of the market, unable to afford much house they could before.
As much house
as they could before. I think that is when we will start to achieve more balanced market. Right now, interest rates are so low that buyers can afford 10% more home this year than they could last year. So it's just a feeding frenzy in there. It's just a feeding frenzy out there, and one that certainly won't stop overnight. I hope this information helps aid your decision-making process and evaluate what is best for your family long term. Please let me know what other questions I can help you with.
I think I covered all the bases, and probably more.
I think you definitely answered their question. You definitely showed your professionalism of why they hired you in the first place, and your market knowledge. I mean, that just solidifies the trust in you that you know what the heck's going on.
Yep.
And we were talking earlier before this about questions we get from agents saying, my client wants to know when's the best time to sell. When's the best time to buy? We were just having that conversation.
Yep. And the answer is, I don't know. I haven't talked to your client. I don't know their circumstances. I don't know their concerns. I don't know, everything that's going on in their life to be able to tell them what the best, or give you advice on what the best time is to buy or sell. It depends.
Yeah, if we're not buying and selling stocks here, and we're trying to, make sure that we hit the right peak or what. You're trying to help people with an issue in their life, which is they need a new home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why they need a new home, what the timing is, what their push is, what their financial status is, that is all your value. That is everything that you have. It is your value in your knowledge in being able to help people make decisions that make sense for them, because they need a sounding board, and then they need somebody who's had experience or has listened to experience that can say, this is what I'm hearing, and I think this is the direction you need to go. But these aren't questions that we can help you guys with when you say, what do you think the best time?
No, I can tell you seasonality of the market. I
Right.
can tell you what statistics are showing, but I can't tell you, for this client, November is the perfect time to list. January is the perfect time to list. I mean, I knew with my client, they don't want to be buying and selling during Thanksgiving. They have family in town. They're excited and eager to get going, but yet they're willing to wait if inventory is going to if there's going to be more inventory and more selection, and the process can be a little smoother, seamless, and less stressful for them. So, yeah, I mean, there are various scenarios out there that listing today is the right decision. Listing November 15th is the right decision. It just depends.
I bought personally, I don't know how many homes we've owned together, but throughout my entire life, oh my gosh, I have owned, probably 30 homes. And I bet I have bought half of them in the month of December, which you would hear is
November or December.
Yeah.
We moved during the holidays is what we've always done.
So there is no right that you can just put out there as a blanket. It's right for you.
And I think for us as real estate agents, right before Thanksgiving or right before Christmas is when we actually have a little bit of a downtime.
That's
and we can do
why.
some personal stuff because our clients are having downtime with their family. And so we're not racing from appointment and meeting and listing appointments. We were actually able to facilitate a move. So yeah, the holidays has always been when we buy.
Yeah. So I just think it's really important that you guys understand your value is not based upon your flyers. Mm-hmm. Your value is not based upon your photography. Your value is based upon your knowledge.
Yeah. And
how you can help guide and educate and direct your clients. That really is the bulk of your value. And I hear people talking about commissions and reducing commissions or taking a low commission or whatever that is, because somebody else is doing it. And the saying is, in the absence of value, you're left with price. Mm-hmm. So if you can't articulate your value, then you're going to have to be less than somebody else. But if you can show that value, you're not going to encounter too many objections. You might have to overcome the objection. It's a wise person to say, "Hey, can I get a better deal?" That's a wise person to ask. But the great thing is, if you've ever sold anything on Craigslist or Facebook, and they come to your house
to pick up that item,
and then they then say, "Well, are you willing to come to?" Okay, they've already showed their hand. They drove to your house.
They're holding
that. That is not a time to negotiate when they're right there, and that's when you just say, "No, I'm pretty firm where I'm at." When you're working by referral, and I'm going to push Buffini. If you guys haven't taken Buffini, it starts in 2 weeks, the 14th. You have to sign up. It is the cheapest it's ever been. It's never going to be this cheap again. We don't charge anything, and we still give you your $100 per closing back. It's like $200 to join. And if you've taken it and you're not doing the business you should be doing or you want to be doing, take it again. Because when you're working by referral, if that person, let's take Suzanne. Let's take Suzanne, who just did this nice email. If Suzanne would say, "Hey, Stacy, I'm definitely going to work with you, but would you?" This is what.
Would you do it for cheaper?
No, she's already committed. She's in. She's not going anywhere. It might be wise of her husband, or somebody might say, "Hey, you should ask if you can get a deal." We don't have deals. Our deal is you get to work with us, and we're going to take very good care of you, and you're probably going to save a lot of time, energy, and frustration in the long run, because we're going to manage the transaction so well for you. There's your value.
Yep. And if she's sitting in the room with one of my other clients and they're having a conversation about buying and selling, and it comes up what my commission rate was, it's going to match. And someone's not going to have a better deal than someone else, because that's how your referrals dry up, is when you start doing sweet deals and people find out that you're doing that. So.
Yeah. I'm impressed with your letter. I mean,
so
you've gotten really good. How'd you get good?
My hope was that by showing this letter, you could take bits and pieces and use it as a template. And no, it's not going to work for every scenario. It's very scenario specific. But I want you to see that when a buyer asks questions, it's important to educate them on certain steps of the home buying and selling process, expectations, and give them market knowledge, some of the market knowledge that you have with statistics. So you can use this with buyers, you can use it with sellers, you can use it, I mean, in all different scenarios. So please, when Paul uploads this after we're done, I mean, take it, cut it, paste it, use some of the sentences, pull out the statistics and put in current statistics. That's the point of showing this, is so that you guys can not have to reinvent the wheel.
And you can see how in depth you should be going. If you want to maintain a strong commission, you want to make a really good living in this industry, you got to put a lot of time and effort and energy into this.
Because they could have easily sent an email that was 3 sentences long that says, the real estate market's insane right now. I've got a great plan for you guys. Let's hit this month, and I'll have you in a new home before Thanksgiving, so you can have Thanksgiving with your friends and family, and then that would be the end of it.
And we've probably done that in the past, and we probably found out that didn't work that well. I mean, that's
because there's a hiccup, and then they get mad at me, and then they're out of house and home in November because things didn't line up the way they were supposed to. And but no, I want to arm them with the information so they make the decision. I don't make the decision. I give them 2 options: we list now, or we list after the first of the year. You pick which is best for you.
Yeah.
So. Anyways, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, hopefully that was useful. If you have any questions, we'll give you guys a couple minutes for questions. Otherwise, thanks for joining in. Again, Paul will upload our letter and put it in the video.
Yeah, and then don't forget, on Elevate, under our training tab, how-tos, I have all of my seller site email communication templates. So things like this, I've got all downloaded on how I communicate with my sellers on CMAs and follow-up on different milestones throughout the transaction. So look at those as well if you're trying to put together some systems for your clients and you wonder, what does Stacy send, and what should I send, and when should I send something, and how often, and what do I say? I've got all of those on Elevate as well.
Yeah. Hey, have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll be back next Tuesday.
Next Wednesday, actually.
Next
week is sales meeting.
Sales meeting. So
yeah,
no Tuesday talk.
But we will see you Wednesday, 10 a.m.
Wednesday. Awesome. Have a great week. Take care. See you guys.
Bye, you guys.